Well, hello everyone. This is Chrystal Lynn, Cowgirl Astrologer. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I just wanted to come on tonight. This is kind of like pre-full moon. We have our full moon in Aries that is approaching in the next few days here. So right now the moon is in Pisces at 9 degrees. And you know, I have a moon in Pisces. And so I just really felt like this was a really good opportunity to tap in to some of the deeper energies that are going on so that as we approach this full moon, we can really release and allow the new beginning. So I'm kind of coming on, taking advantage of my intuition tonight, being connected. This is my favorite moon of the month. And also, I'm having my Mercury return in Libra right now, exact conjunct. And Jupiter is over Mercury and Venus in my chart. So, you know, I have to, you know, these energies are really important. And sometimes we just want to hide with what's going on right now out in the world. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm afraid to say anything. Things are so sensitive out there. Yet I have all these thoughts. I feel like, you know what? I need to speak. I need to have a voice too. And, you know, I'm not doing my part as an American, as a human being, if I don't, you know, contribute my voice in this, so that we all can contribute our voice. If we are looking around us right now at the world and we feel paralyzed by fear, I mean, let's face it, fear is on every corner and we're seeing it. It's just bombarding us and it's so easy to feel paralyzed. And that can happen, especially with what's going on astrologically right now. So we're going to talk about that. So I have a lot I want to say. And I kind of feel like this is going to be one of my deeper messages. I just feel like we need to get really honest, you guys. As honest as we can, because there's a lot happening and we're at a very important stage of this cycle. We're kind of at the end of a long cycle and then we're getting ready to have a beginning. And so if we don't release the old, it's going to go with us into the future, into the new energy. And we're in those crossroads again right now. Okay, so one of the things that's happening I want to bring to our attention tonight is that Venus is in Scorpio. You guys probably know. But Venus is conjunct Lilith in Scorpio. Now, a couple of weeks ago, they were exact conjunct. They're about a 5-degree orb right now. So it's starting to, the pressure's starting to release a little bit. But if you guys notice the last few weeks, we're just really intense and internal and obsessive. Yeah. Whenever you have a conjunction, you see a conjunction of Venus and Lilith in your own personal chart or in, you know, what's going on up in the sky, it's a very intense effect. Okay, now there's a lot of descriptions about Lilith. I'm talking about Black Lilith, and it's really a shadow of the moon. There's a lot of descriptions about it, so you can read up on that. I don't want to focus too much on that other than to say the Lilith is in Scorpio right now, and Lilith is the raw energy. It's kind of the sinful nature, okay? It can be the evil side of us. It kind of releases the demons right now out on earth, okay? You know, hell has no fury, and that's why we're seeing in our world today this, you know, releasing of these deep, dark secrets, you know, of everybody. And also we're seeing, you know, I don't want to get off on a, please don't let me get off on a political thing. I'm really trying to avoid it because when I do talk about it, I want it to be well thought out. But no matter what perspective you're on, and this isn't about that, what it's about is the two candidates that we're looking up at right now represent us. Okay, it represents the energy of our world, the good and the bad, the toxic, the shadow, and the hopeful, the possibilities. Okay, on either side, it doesn't matter. They represent what's happening in our inner worlds. They're just out in public. And so we're looking at them thinking, what's wrong with them? But they really are reflecting us, reflecting the energy that we're ensconced in. Okay. Now, how you're handling that energy is a personal journey. But when you see Venus and Lilith conjunct, especially in Scorpio, you're going to have a strong influence of very, let me see how I can put this, disorders, okay, such as psychopath, narcissism. That's why we're seeing this outpouring right now of these psychological issues behind the scenes. Everybody's, reading about it now and coming to awareness now and, looking at our dysfunctional relationships. These are the patterns and the imprint, astrological imprint that we were all born in. Okay, it's like no escape. This was our karma, is to go through these relationships. And now they're coming to this pivotal moment with Jupiter moving into Libra. And now we have the Sun, Mercury there too with Libra, with Jupiter. It's bringing out, it's just exploding the truth of our relationships and the dynamics. And with Mars conjunct Pluto right now, you guys, I mean, this is just so intense. It's just blowing up like a volcano, the old systems and patterns and old ways of thinking. And I mean, like, we are being like just turned inside out. Okay, whatever you thought was is not, and now you're having to open your eyes to a whole new way of looking at life. I mean, it gets really crazy and really deep, but I know you guys know what I'm talking about, because we're, you have to understand the relationship between Libra and Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn energy, that is a square. Okay, they're arguing right now. And Capricorn's all about power, and it's also about control of the home. Okay, Capricorn rules the home of Libra. Okay, the fourth house. So, and Libra expresses Capricorn energy through communication and through reputation. So they have this really weird relationship. And one wants to compromise, and one wants everything to be fair, and one wants both voices to be heard. And the Capricorn energy is really all about, who's in authority, who's the boss of this relationship. And right now with all this energy in Libra, it's like, hey, wait a minute, maybe you were the boss, but now I'm the boss. So I know, we're questioning everything right now, and it's very unsettling because when you start growing and you start finding your own identity, Uranus and Aries, okay, you start finding your own identity and you know who you are, that's when you have the power in your life and you're able to rise above and not allow people to come and take you down. And you can see with just the examples we have in our leadership of our country that, they can't even have a civil debate without completely destroying every part of each other. And isn't that what we've all done to each other too, in one way or another? Yeah. Okay. We're doing the same thing. We're mirroring them through, people aren't even talking to their longtime friends because of who they're going to vote for. It's just, it's really, it's created a great divide in our country. And, You know, will we be able to truly ever heal and come back together and learn how to have this totally radically dynamic differences and bring them together again after all of this? I don't know. You know, I don't know. So we're all landing now. It's kind of like Dorothy. I've probably used this example before, but this is my life story. You know, Dorothy up in the Wizard of Oz, and we're up in the tornado, and when we land, are we going to be in, you know, Kansas anymore? This is an amazing time though right now, you guys. And there's going to be some certain tricks to the trade right now on how to navigate this energy, because there is some very dark energy around us. Whenever you get into Scorpio, Capricorn, Sagittarius, it's very dark energy, especially combined. Okay. So we're seeing now, because of this Venus Lilith conjunction, we're able to see the truth. So Venus and Lilith together can bring deep healing, but deep psychological healing, which is what we need right now, really, from childhood wounds and old messages and, you know, old structures we grew up in. And now we're in this new set of, you know, this world, and we're opening up creatively and opening up spiritually. And we're opening up to wanting to really do something good, you know, and we're stopped on every corner. We don't know how to push through. You know, there's fear on every corner, anger on every corner. And how do we, you know, say, I refuse to be motivated by fear? Now, fear is a good motivator. So I don't think we can throw it all out the door. I think fear is an excellent motivator. But if it's the only motivator, and, you know, here we are, Venus, Lilith, Scorpio. Scorpio represents fears and, you know, paranoias and government fears. You know, you get a lot of that, you know, and I love my Scorpios. You guys know I love you guys. But, you know, it's true that you guys are the ones that are always, you know what's going on behind the scenes. And, you know, I don't know, you sniff out all the scams, and you can get a little paranoid about government stuff because you guys kind of know the truth about it all. A lot of us, it's not about burying our head in the sand. It's just, you know, nowadays you don't know what to believe. You're reading so much stuff's coming in, and so you get desensitized to anything. You're like, it's so much information. So, you know, you almost feel guilty if you want to post, you know, or you want to live a life that says, you know, no, I'm going to still believe in humanity and in hope and in love and in, you know, being able to rise above these. I mean, we've been rising above, you know, these scenarios for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I mean, we think this is so traumatic right now, the wars and all the things, but just go back to the Old Testament times, you know, it was all war and bloodbaths. And I mean, you know, that's how they operated. That's how they thinned out evil. So, you know, it's not about getting on that whole topic. My whole point in wanting to come on tonight and talk about some of these things is, how are we going to move into the next chapter? Because tomorrow night's full moon or on the 16th in Aries, it's a super moon, and it's a huge moon, and it's in conjunction with Uranus. Now, Uranus, whatever you want to call him, brings sudden shock, sudden change, sudden opportunity. It can be a little scary because it can bring out, you know, sudden issues. Whatever the motivation is that's lurking around any situation, when these energies come, they either bring out the best or they bring out the worst. That's why astrology, you can't really, you know, you can predict things, but that's why it's always, you know, this is the possibilities, because it really depends on our hearts, what's going on in our lives to what comes out. Okay, to what comes out in our lives. So our job, if you feel helpless right now and you feel like you can't do anything, is to understand we're fighting in the spiritual realm, you guys. This is a spiritual war. We live now in a world that's so intently connected psychically. Like right now, I'm right here in your home, and like we're having this conversation. You and I could be sitting here, you know, having a cup of coffee together, having this conversation. And how cool is that, that the internet allows us to have connections with other people that we respect or we enjoy listening to, almost like, you know, they're right there in our home. It's a certain feeling that allows us to connect with each other. But at the same time, we don't know each other. And so there's this, you know, it's like we know each other energetically. Most people that email me for readings say, you know, I just felt like I knew you, or I felt like I could know you, or I feel like you would listen to me or understand me. Something about my vibe or energy. That's why they chose me for a reading. You know, it's a connection that you have with each other. And because we're in this world where knowledge is abounding on every corner, and we're so connected to each other energetically through the internet, we're bombarded by other people's thoughts, other people's things. Um, you know, we're bombarded by so much energy that we often lose complete connection to what's our energy. Who are we? You know, and especially those of you out there who are healers, or who are empaths, who are on YouTube doing astrology or doing this kind of work, we are giving out so much energetically. And, you know, we have to handle the times that we need to, all of us, you know, need to rebalance ourselves and give ourselves that time that it takes, or to kind of really go through something. You know, we're always in a hurry, we're always in a rush, we're always pushing everything away, we're always distracted. Sometimes you have to really slow down. And this energy right now is all about boundaries and all about truth. And it's all about, also with this moon and Uranus, it's all about knowing who you are, your path. There comes a point in time in all of our lives, I don't care who we are, that we have to stop and really say, you know, it's kind of like when you wake up at 3 a.m, you're looking out the window at the stars, you know, and you think, who am I at 3 o'clock in the morning? You know, when nobody's around, when there's no stimulation. What do I believe? What do I want? What do I dream of? And now's the time to manifest that. You've been being prepared. We've all been being prepared. Really, the last 7 years has been an intense stripping of material things, relational things, spiritual things. And now we're moving into Saturn and Sagittarius. We're in Saturn and Sagittarius. Venus will be there soon, okay? And it's all about really being our own masters, knowing who we are and what we're here to do, and finding our tribe and finding an authentic tribe. And Jupiter in Libra is all about us really looking at our relationships. It's starting at home right now. So you may have a lot of tension at home, but it'll pass. Just know you've got to look at those relationships. You've got to finish some things. You also have to really prioritize, like, what is your responsibility and what isn't? How many things do we take on that we do because we don't want to say no? See, that's the codependent side of Libra. All these issues are going to be brought to the surface. You know, we all love Jupiter, 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 but Jupiter is the teacher, and it expands the issue and the problem, and then it drills it in for a year of like how we need to fix these situations. Libra energy can be very repressive. Libras, you'll know what I'm talking about, you know, just that repressing yourself for the good of all, you know, not rocking the boat or saying yes just because saying no would create too much, you know, problem. And it can become very codependent, where then you can't make a decision at all. those are issues that are going to come to the surface. You may start feeling strong, especially with Sun and Mercury there for you Libras, about going, hey, my turn now. You know, I'm coming out. This is not balanced right. So, you know, and sometimes when you rock the boat a little bit, you know, relationships rock a little bit. Sometimes they gotta rock and roll things a little bit. Sometimes you just gotta be crazy and speak the truth. Let the chips fall where they fall, you know, get it out. It's, you know, the things that we're repressing are coming up to the surface because, again, I'm going back to this Venus and Lilith and Scorpio. It's not going to allow us to repress it. Okay, there's a lot of energy bringing it, like you know, Scorpio energy, that plutonic energy is like that volcano. How many things has been brewing for years and years and years and years, and you know, Saturn came along in Scorpio and brought all those issues to the surface. Mars then had its 8-month stay and, you know, really slammed us again on all these issues. And I really believe that Venus and Lilith, if we can connect in a really healthy and honest way and look at our truths and look at our responsibilities, look at our craziness, and really begin to just deal in truth, I think that we can really experience the final healing through this Scorpio journey we've been on over the last few years. But, you know, if we're fighting that and we're still holding on and we're still lying and we're still, you know, whatever it is, you know, that you're still angry about or holding on to or hurting others, you know, we all have to look at ourselves. That's going to come out too. And people are going to see it. People are going to really see the truth in you. You're not going to be able to hide it. So it's kind of like it can go either way. It can really either be an amazing healing or it can be amazing revealing. And, you know, I want to say, because I think that Mars in Capricorn really does tell us to guard ourselves. You know, it's the Capricorns, you know, a lot of times you'll see like, you know, what do you call it? You know, like in a bar, you know, they're the protectors. You know what I mean? They're the bouncers in the bar. That's a Capricorn. Okay. Sometimes Aries too. All right. And so, you know, Mars and Pluto right now are kind of telling us that we need to be our own bouncer. Like, don't just let anybody in. Don't let anybody mowing you over anymore. Don't let anybody put you down. Don't let anybody discard you, diminish you. Don't let anybody play games with you. You know, you're going to be an honest person, so expect honesty in your relationships, not games. If you want to play games, then you play games. But if you want to grow and you want to really, you know, step into your power, we've got to let go of our childish ways now. And Mars in Capricorn is all about being responsible. Don't forget, Saturn's going to move into Capricorn after Sag, what is this, 2018. So we're all going to be under a real strict rebuilding of our lives. Right now, a lot of things have been torn down and we're starting the rebuild. So what's happening right now for you is about the rebuild. You know, a little clue into what the themes of Saturn might be in your life. You can see them like in a Mars before Saturn happens. You can kind of see the themes. So, gosh, you guys, it's a lot to deal with. And I hope, you know, I hope all of this made sense. I'm in a really weird, this energy is really weird. And with Moon in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces is still retrograde. And I have a Pisces rising and a Moon in Pisces. I've told you guys that. And Neptune retrograde has been intense. And for me this time, you have to remember, especially the water signs, but like Pisces and Scorpio, they have the most tragic life path story themes. There's a lot of emotional and abuse. And, you know, with Pisces, you see abductions, child abandonments, different things like that. Scorpio, you see, you know, a lot of just really bad, more violent abuse and different things like that, sexual abuse. So these are topics, you guys, that are coming up, and you even see it coming up in the you know, in the political stuff. What are the topics that they're digging up? You know, I think they just today there was a new son that's Bill Clinton's son now. You know, so I mean, there's Moon in Pisces, Neptune Pisces, the abandoned or the sun that's now coming to the surface. I mean, these are really heavy issues, and they're also stirring up these issues in our own personal lives. You know, if you really look at the themes that are being played out and you look at your own life, you could see some similarities, okay? Because these are themes we're all dealing with. It's just that when we look at other people, we can not look at ourselves. You know, and it's fun. It's like watching Jerry Springer, you know, one of my favorite things to do to make yourself feel better, you know, and then you watch Jerry Springer, and you're like, I'm not that bad, you know. So that's kind of what we're doing. But you know what, you guys? We're the majority. We can change the dynamics. It's in the spiritual realm, and that's what I wanted to say. We have to understand, because we're in this energetic, I was talking about this earlier, and I apologize if I'm all over. That's what Moon in Pisces does. So we're in such an energetic state that we have to learn to live in this world in a more energetic way. So we have to know how to protect our energies. We have to know how to set boundaries for ourselves. We have to have a goal. We have to have our own policies, you know, and we have to understand that things as prayer and intention and manifestation, that those are our tools, those are our weapons. When we learn how to use those in a healthy way, we can manifest, you know, groups of people to do great things. You know, we have to be the change. I keep saying that. That's my contribution. We have to be the change. And we have to do it. We can create a energetic wave of change. You know, when you pray, you send that wave out, you know, and it opens doors in the spiritual realm. Don't forget that those are our tools. Those are our weapons. And you're going to need a lot of prayer right now, and a lot of cleansing. And if you guys know how to, you know, sage your homes, really learn how to balance and clear your chakras and all of those things. I mean, I'm still learning all that too, but there's a lot of videos and people who talk about those things. That's what I do. I listen to them all. And really be clear about what you're manifesting, because like I said, there's a lot of distractions everywhere wanting to get those of us who are light workers and those of us who have a goal and a dream, and we can make a difference in this world. If we can build each other up, that changes the energy and the creative energy, and we can do great things. And we're not relying on someone to tell us we can do great things. We're going to do great things. Okay, so I don't know. I just think, you know, Mars in Capricorn, Uranus in Aries. Capricorn Aries is another square. And you know what? Those are the badass. Those are the badasses of power. They want power. And so, you know what? Everybody wants power. That's fine. We have to take our own individual power back as well. And know who you are. On this full moon, I want you to pray during this time, or encourage you to pray during this time. And really, really, if you write it down, how you manifest it, really get in tune with your identity, because you're going to need a very clear picture of who you are, what your calling in life is, and be very clear about that. Like the master, to move into the energy coming, because there's going to be crazy stuff on every corner for a while. Okay, and you have to be very clear. And it might mean you have to take some time. I mean, I've had a lot of changes in my family right now. I've had more of my kids back home. I've got my grandchildren coming in my home more. And I've been working on, you know, my time writing and this channel. And I've just had to, like, I'm not doing anything else but staying very, very, clear and on track, because, it's taking me a lot of energy just to do that, and I'm very careful right now, extending myself. And it's hard because you miss your friends and you want to be able to just go do things, and they don't understand when you're making these changes. But, stuff that I want to do requires me to have self-discipline. And same for you guys. We sit here and, we all want to do something. Well, guess what? The person who's doing it out there are the ones who are just doing it. Do it. Do it, whatever it is. And you guys come to me for readings, and I love to do career type stuff and consultations and help you time yourself to the energy ahead. In fact, I have a 15-minute video that does that. But so many people leave their readings, they're like, oh my gosh, I can see the vision and I can do it. And they had it all along. It's just sometimes having somebody come and light that spark. And so tonight I want to light that spark in you and realize that, this is kind of war. We're in war right now. Spiritually, there's a lot of war going on, and physically and emotionally, there's a lot of wars going on. So we need to, as spiritual beings, and the warriors that we are for the good that we want to do, we have to gird ourselves as well. Okay? I'm going to end with, I read this scripture. It's one of my old favorite Bible scriptures. And, I just thought, it just came to me today, and I went and looked it up because I just thought, this is still ancient wisdom, and this is still so powerful. And the verses in Ephesians 6:12-14, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, and with the breastplate of righteousness in place. And I thought that was a really powerful scripture. Take what you want of that. And just to remind us that, we're not helpless, we're not victims, and we can work in the spiritual realm through our intentions and through wanting to make positive change. Okay? So I love you guys. I'm feeling kind of woo tonight. But I love you all. I don't know if I'll be on for the full moon. Usually I come on. I might come on and do a little video as she comes up. If you want to come in for a reading, I have some great specials right now. I'm doing compatibility and some other things. So check out my website, cowgirlastrologer.com, and I will be updating on other things as well soon. Okay, you guys, have an awesome night and happy full moon.